Okay. And I think your point in the beginning when you said both parties, you know, like 900,000 and 700,000, so they're expecting something and they're covering all their bases. I mean, and that would be a way to say it, and then it doesn't seem, and that's why I think people might not have noticed all the examples were Republican, because you had that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. All right, Josh.
How do I turn on the computer? The screen?
Power, picture mute.
The little white box. Picture mute. Oh, picture mute. Great.
Did you turn it on?
No, not yet. I'm going
Okay.
to turn it on when it's ready.
Good.
I don't want you guys seeing anything before it's done.
That's perfect. You don't.
Okay, my name is Joshua Rosenstock, and I will be telling you about the importance of regulating the Clean Water Act. Okay, well, we use water every single day. All of us do. I guarantee some of you guys took a shower this morning, washed your hands, face, did the dishes, took some bong grips, took a bath, did your laundry, and everything. Everything involves water. I have a bottle of water sitting right there. Okay, well, in the 1930s, the government didn't have any regulation on water. And in the 1930s, there was a big, deadly cholera outbreak, and also typhoid fever. And many, many people got sick. And it wasn't until 40 years later, in 1972, when they first developed the Clean Water Act. Basically, this gave the government responsibility and control over all the water and made sure that it was clean. They put $24.6 billion into it with hopes that it would be completely clean by 1985. It's 2010. They are failing. Basically, they developed this new form of this hydrofracking is the hot topic. Hydraulic fracturing is the real name for it. It's got this hip name called fracking. So everybody thinks it's like this cool thing, and it extracts natural gas from the ground by sending in all these chemicals and water to extract these gases. And it mixes these chemicals into the water, which are inseparable. And also natural gas, on the other hand, is much safer than fossil fuels, which are, well, actually both are recyclable, not recyclable, and you can't use them again. So, well, when it mixes the chemicals into the water, people get sick, and it causes diseases. For example, Laura Amos from Silt, Colorado, developed adrenal cancer. Now, Halliburton is, I'm throwing all these facts at you, I know, but they all tie together. Halliburton, who is the second major oil company in the world, builds most of these drilling tools, and they found, and what's his name, Dick Cheney was the head of Halliburton in the 90s. They build all these tools for drilling. They are the guys, they are the head honchos. And they found this exemption in the CWA, the Clean Water Act, that does not, so that they don't have to reveal all the chemicals that they're putting into the ground, so that people like Laura Amos, who got sick, can't trace the chemicals back to the disease. And it's terrible for them. People are getting sick from their water, and it's terrible. You guys use water every single day. It's not right. And I just wanted to show you this video real quick. Of how water is actually setting on fire in some areas over hydraulic fracturing sites. Not just that. Is that ridiculous? As the video says, that shouldn't happen. It's pretty crazy. Well, the government also has regulation over bodies of water, but you can't let them overregulate. They regulate on business, recreation, and commerce. For business, they regulate companies with dumping, and they can't have them. We want them to dump, but we want them to do it safely. With recreation, there's we want the correct amount of like hunting and with commerce, but we can't, with recreation, we can't like we can't stop them from doing stuff on their private property. And then with commerce, barges that transport the goods. So we have to balance the ratio from waste to activity.
Are you on your third point?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm about to finish. The average American uses 80 gallons of water per day. Water is a natural resource with a limited supply. And the CWA needs to regulate this water. You cannot live without water, but you can live without oil. And my final point from a Chinese proverb is when drinking water, think of its source.
Is anybody else using this stuff up there today? Okay, so you can turn that off, Josh, or log out so that make sure you do that right now. So let's have Tommy's here, right? Where are you? Oh, I don't see you. Have Melissa do this one. What were the main points?
He was talking about how in the water they have when they drill they put different chemicals into the water and they cause diseases people because they don't know and
You can sit if you want.
so the company is like I'll give you that example of how the company.
So if you had to sum that up as a main point, what would you say it is?
It's unsafe.
What's it called?
What?
What's unsafe?
Oh, like the fracking?
Okay, so fracking is unsafe. What would be the second point?
That it can cause diseases in people.
Fracking can cause diseases?
Well, no, well, it
can make you sick?
There's chemicals in the water that can make you sick.
Third point? Anybody? Jess?
It's the job of the Clean Water Act to regulate this.
Did you get lost at all in this? A little bit?
I would say I got lost a little in the middle, but by the end I was completely back with it.
Did you find that? It was like,
Yeah.
huh? Where are we going with this?
Yeah, a little bit.
So what did you like about it?
Well, he had good examples that kind of like pushed his point through, and then it was kind of like, it's more like he was giving like kind of like a conversation more than like a professional like presentation.
Is that a good thing or not so good?
I thought it was.
Okay.
Because it was easier to like follow with.
So she's talking about your delivery was really
Yeah, I
likable.
was assessing my audience. Seriously.
Say it again.
I was assessing my audience.
Yeah, I think you got a really likable style where
Exactly.
people are going to listen to you. But you also have some quirky things that you do that people look at you and say, "What is he doing? Like, why
I
is he
think,
doing that?"
honestly, I was thinking about it while he was presenting. I think that's part of his likability. The quirky things.
I agree.
I think that's why I was listening more.
Say it again?
I said I think that's why I was listening more.
Because he just intrigues you so much?
It was just, I don't know, it just gave it something extra.
You give a confidence that you want to tell us. And this gesture does a lot. You know, I'm glad you didn't do that to anybody today. But, you know, usually it's this, you know, I'm just being frank with you that, hey, it's real. It's real, man. And he's just a cool dude. Because, you know, it's got a hip thing going on, you know. So that language can help you, Josh, but it also was distracting because now all of a sudden you like had this skip of what are you talking about? When you went into Dick Cheney and what he was doing and how he was connected. So you need to be very blunt and clear, straightforward in what your point is and how you're going to support that particular point. Because it's an informative speech, not a persuasive speech. You don't want to kind of lead us into this and then go, wham. You want to say, look, here's what their job is. This is what they're supposed to do. And the part that you really grab us when you say, and they're not doing it. So here's where they're not doing it. Instead, you kind of made us try to get to that, draw that conclusions from some of the examples, and it was really muddled. Like, where are you going with this? What are you talking about? And then you throw in this video about lighting water up, you know, which was quite intriguing, and we're going, wow, that really says something. It's powerful, but what is your point in showing us that? What was your point in showing us that?
Water should not be doing this.
If
it has chemicals.
no,
in it.
what's your
If
call?
we're drinking it.
No, what's your topic? If the Clean Water Act is working, we shouldn't be doing this. Why not? Because this is the very mission of the Clean Water Act. Is supposed to clean this up, but it's not happening. And now you'd say, why isn't it happening? Well, you got some powerful people that seem to be pulling the strings, as Josh would say. Right? That you got Dick Cheney, who's part of got money. No, the other Josh. Remember earlier? So it's like you've got people that have influence that have said that doesn't count anymore, so they can't regulate it. So you might say that's part of the problem with the Clean Water Act is that it can't be consistent because people are taking things out that should belong in it. So that was kind of a sidebar that was powerful, but not really about this speech. You with me on that? So when you started to hurry with the other points, get more of that. Give yourself more time for this is what else the place, this is what the other things it does. Did we need to see the catching the water on fire?
Yeah.
Why?